So with much fanfare, the New England Journal of Medicine has released their big colonoscopy trial. We've been digesting it over the past week. So basically what it is, it's the first trial where two groups of people are either randomized to an invitation, so a letter inviting them to colonoscopy, versus no invitation, and at the time of the study, no cancer screening. They enrolled nearly 95,000 people in this group. Follow-up is available for 89% of these, so about 85,000 people. So at the outset, we've lost 10,000 people. This is a group in Netherlands, so we lost 10,000 Netherlands data. Netherlands has the fourth highest cancer rate in the world. These 10,000 people might be important. What this trial is looking at is the value of inviting a population to screen for bowel cancer. So it's looking at the value of sending a letter. If you get a letter and you don't do the test, you're not going to be protected from bowel cancer. It's as simple as that. And this study shows that. So of everyone they sent a letter to, 42% of people participated. So 58% of people did not. These participation rates varied depending on the country involved. Participation was only 33% in Poland and up to 60.7% in Norway. And remember, we've lost 10,000 people in Netherlands with a really high rate. Of the groups that had a colonoscopy, let's look at the quality of colonoscopy. The bowel prep was good in just over 90%. That means 10% of these colonoscopies, the prep wasn't good enough, not good enough to pick up potentially polyps, potentially not good enough to pick up bowel cancers. The other marker of a high quality colonoscopy is having an adenoma detection rate, so finding polyps at a minimum threshold. And in Australia, we talk about a rough rate of about 30%. And if we look at Poland, only 14.4% of these people had polyps detected. That rate is too low. It implies that these people are potentially not having a high quality colonoscopy. The cancer rates in this group overall in these countries were lower than expected. Why is this? Have they been missed? Are the rates actually lower than we thought? Is it because of poor prep? Is it because of the 10,000 people that we've missed? These are all questions. Of those who did participate, there was a 31% decrease in the risk of a cancer diagnosis at 10 years. There was also a 50% reduction in the risk of cancer death. So as a program, sending a letter out has not made a huge difference. There was a reduction in risk of 18% of having cancer at 10 years if you sent a letter. If you do the test, that reduces to 31%. I've got a couple of problems with this. If you do a colonoscopy at any age, at any stage in a group of people, you're going to find cancers. So these people, the median age was 59. They front up to a colonoscopy. They found 62 cancers. 62 cancers off the bat. These people were then, as far as I can determine, please correct me if I'm wrong, were not excluded from then counting. So we're not counting this colonoscopy as preventing their cancer. They're in the groups that are subsequently analysed. So 62 people kind of start with a handicap, if you like. This group started with a higher rate of bowel cancer. And remember, we're looking at the rate of colorectal cancer diagnosis across these two groups at 10 years. If you do colonoscopies, you will find cancer. Therefore, the screen group will have a higher rate of cancer at the start. You would expect these rates to drop off, and you would expect the group that wasn't screened to have an increase in the incidence as these cancers become evident in time. How many of the non-screened group had colonoscopies in the 10-year period? I don't know. How many of them had symptoms? How many of them had colonoscopies for other reasons? How many of them had polyps removed at this time? It's not clear. The median age of attendance in this group was 59. Now we know bowel cancer goes up with time. 59 is a pretty good age group. The sad truth is that 11% of people in this group died in both groups from any cause. So what is the effect of a screening colonoscopy, a preventative tool, if this median age was 50? Would this translate to a greater benefit? You would propose that the death rate of an average 50-year-old is not going to be 11% over 10 years. This is a really robust trial. It's got great methodology, but the pure science is not immediately applicable. As a screening tool, as an invasive test where not everyone attends, it gives us the data. It says if you don't do the test, you don't get the benefit. It's a no-brainer. But there are some pitfalls in the groups that did have the test, and these are very reasonable concerns, and hopefully we've outlined some of those. But again, low participation rate. 10,000 people have been lost from analysis. 9% or thereabouts had bowel prep insufficient. The polyp detection rates in nearly a third of the colonoscopists were not what they should be, with 14.4% pollen. Maybe that's not good enough. It's not. If you're going to have a comparison between two groups and our colonoscopy group gets a colonoscopy to diagnose their colonoscopy, we can kind of presume that that rate of cancer diagnosis is accurate. How are we diagnosing the other group if we're not doing a colonoscopy? Should this group not have a colonoscopy at the end of 10 years? If you really want to know what their cancer rate is, there will be a proportion of those people who have cancer at 10 years. We just don't know about it because we haven't done the gold standard test to investigate it. It's a great trial. It's robust methodology. It's given us some fantastic pure science about the population benefit and maybe the cost benefits of sending letters. But for individuals, it doesn't really change much, and there's some pitfalls. So the messages that I think we can take from this are: a screening test is only going to work if you do it. There's room for improvement in the quality of this colonoscopy, and 10 years for a preventative screening test. Colonoscopy is the gold standard to detect and remove polyps and cancers. 10 years may not be long enough. They're going to do this for 15 years. That's great. We're still going to be missing cancers that are present but not yet diagnosed, particularly in the group that's never had a colonoscopy. Those are my thoughts. Hope that helps.